What's going on, YouTube world and YouTube tribe? Welcome back to LilBigMan Gaming, bringing you, as you see it, a review for Supergirl episode season 6, episode 14, Magical Thinking. This was an interesting episode, but let me give you the synopsis and then we're going to talk about it. Lena is uncertain about using her magical abilities to help Supergirl retrieve the second totem from Nixley. William struggles to write a story on the Super Friends that makes both the heroes and Andrea happy. So basically, magical thinking revolves around mostly around Lena. Not like it's like a Lena etc. episode, but it revolves around her in a way that it is about her trying to come to terms with her lineage and her history as being basically a magical witch, and that how she has to use now she might have to actually use her witch abilities to help the Super Friends. We start the episode off with Nixley. Basically, she finding out using her crystal ball, she actually locates the next totem, which is called the Humanity Totem, and the Humanity Totem is basically is like in the hand is as she finds is like at some type of sports event, and you see that it's an MMA fight where it's an MMA fight arena, and they in the backstage where this guy is basically preparing himself for his first match, and this other guy comes and talks to him about how it's okay to be nervous and all, and to be scared on your first match, and he basically, I think in the crystal ball, when initially seen it, she seen what it looked like. It's like she seen like basically a crystal ball sold like a piece of wood tied to a string, and the dude at the MMA arena in the backstage area, he gives him like a monk like advice, and he was like, and that's what the dude was like, man, what are you, a monk? And he was like, no. But then he takes out the necklace with the wooden piece, revealing that he has the totem, saying, "But I did live among them for a brief period." The dude with Nixie informs Nixie though that they have to make this snatch and make this like a snatch and grab and lead type of situation, because the moment she step off that ship to get it, Supergirl never know her location, so they have to be quick about it. Cue Supergirl in them scene where Supergirl and them trying to figure out what's the next totem, and they really have no leads, and all they got is basically Lena maybe using magic to locate it. At the same time, William is brought into the watchtower, and he's being told about the conditions of what he could write and what he can't write. Because at this point in the episode, they basically debating. They debated throughout the whole episode whether or not should they allow William. Well, they debate with William because he's the only one who wants to know why. But why can't he write the story in the full entirety? And they basically tell it's because they don't want to cause panic and chaos, because pretty much at this point in the juncture, they had no plan whatsoever. They didn't know how they was going to do it. Back over to Nixley. Nixley basically blow open the door to the backstage area with this gun, and she demands the totem. The dude doesn't know what she's talking about at first, but until she explained, she tells the wood with the necklace with the wood thing, he realizes it's the thing in his hand, and he tosses it to her quickly, like, here, have it. And she grabs it and then says the little magical activation word, and it turns into the crystal, and it tells her that do she think she have like the heart and humanity to wield this totem, and she says she does, and he says we'll see, and then that was it. And she's like, huh, well, that was easy. I was expecting a gauntlet like the last time, but guess it didn't. Just like the dude predicted, Supergirl now end up finding Nixley because they found out she was there at the fight arena. So they go there to confront her. Supergirl go there to confront her and demands the totem. And she tells Supergirl she won't, basically she's not giving her the totem. So when Supergirl tried to attack, Nixie activates the totem and sends this wave of blue totem energy that Supergirl uses her cape to prevent from herself being affected, but everybody else is affected. Everybody else around her, all the humans around her, gets affected, and they start. Nixie makes her escape, and ensuring chaos. And the chaos is that everybody who's affected start fighting and beating each other like they ain't have no more humanity in them. And Supergirl informs them they have a problem. So this leads to the overarching problem of them trying to figure out how many people was affected and what they was affected with. One of the things, the reason why the Supergirl did get affected, because she's kind of is affected, but she's affected through her connection with Nixley. Like, whatever Nixley feels, she feels. Remember that? This comes into play in this episode as well. Side story, Kelly, I mentioned this because this side story with Kelly and Alex ties into the main story just a little bit, because it has to deal with the little orphan alien girl from one of the previous episodes. Kelly basically taking her to her new family, and she's basically, the little girl's happy that who she with. I think the people was rich, like they were some rich people, and the little girl's happy. They got their own swimming pool. She's excited to be with this new family. And Kelly is excited for her. This little side story will come back into play into the main story later on. So throughout the episode, you also have William struggling. Like I said, he was struggling with the Super Friends and stuff, because certain things they was talking about, they had to keep reminding him that's off the record. And certain things they was allowing him to write, which was hindering the story, which would put him at odds with Andrea. And at different moments, he kept asking why couldn't he write the story he wanted to write. They convinced Lena to use magic, and this leads into like a funny scene where I think the first time she does a spell, after she get done saying the incantation, the lights and stuff start flickering, and like almost a power surge and stuff, and then everything goes to normal. And they were like, Lena and Dreamer, they basically trying to figure out if the spell works. So Dreamer like, I'll go check, and Dreamer basically turns around and crashes into a cart, and knocking a whole bunch of stuff over, and Lena like, oh my God, Dreamer, are you okay? She was like, and it shows like the camera pans down to Dreamer's legs, and Dreamer can't get her legs, to work properly, and she like, Lena, I think I can't tell my left from my right. She was like, oh my God, and she, Lena realized that's what happened when she did the spell. The spell accidentally, they thought it didn't do anything, but it actually did something to Dreamer. And Dreamer, she's like, oh my God, I could fix this. And Dreamer's like, oh no, it's okay. I mean, it's actually quite funny. And then Dreamer started thinking about this. She's like, it's not permanent, is it? She's trying to hold herself up, and Dreamer and Lena assures that it'll wear off in an hour. This is when Supergirl flies in, and she's basically trying to get an update on their progress. And Dreamer goes to talk to Supergirl, but she turns the opposite direction. Instead of facing Supergirl, she's facing the other way. Her back is towards Supergirl. And for a minute she was just sitting there talking. Then she realized, she's like, oh crap. She realized she was facing the wrong way, and Supergirl was like, the hell? Why did you just do that? And then Dreamer turns back around and said, Lena broke my brain. Supergirl just looks at Lena. She's like, it's only temporary. It wears off in an hour. I was just like, oh wow. But so this leads into Lena finding the right spell. The first time she does this twice. The first time she does it, you know, they don't. They thought they located, but they didn't. But they realized after the spell was done, people it did do part of it. They did it increased the energy of the crystal, but it didn't quite increase it in the way they was expecting it. And they realized it's because now more people out there that's going crazy. But what they don't realize, and what this scene leads to, is Nixley figuring out that she was in the gauntlet after all. They figure because all of a sudden Nixley's acting weird. She's acting with compassion and kindness and care and love, and she doesn't know why. And the dude that she's working with, he's freaking out. He's like, you know, what's going on? And they eventually figure out that it's because she really, like I said, she really was in the gauntlet. The gauntlet was this time around, unlike taking you into your own mind to go through your memories. The gauntlet was flooding you. It was going to flood you. The person who wields the totem is going to get flooded with the humanity, and the test is to see if you can handle it while everybody else goes crazy around you. Can you handle that much humanity and keep basically, I guess, like keep yourself, still be yourself, but handle the flood of humanity that's flooding inside your body that's taking over your personality. This would end up leading her this would lead into Lena's second attempt, because after she had like a talk with William, like a heart to heart about him trying to be like a baker to remake his parents, I think his dead father or mother's cooking, and he realized that the reason why he couldn't get the taste of the baking of the cake and whatnot to taste right was because he cared more about getting everything right than the ingredients itself. And he was telling Lena to do the same thing. Instead of trying to get it right and do it just like them, get it right with the ingredients and do it your way, and you will see that you could actually get the spell right. This would lead to the second attempt, but also at the same time, they got another location for the second another totem called the Hope Totem, and they went to go get it. But the problem was they had to kill a guard to get past him to get into where it was. And I guess it's supposed to. I think they said it looked like a flower or something. Nixley had to kill this guard, but when Lena did the spell again, and it still just did the same thing. It enhanced it more than it did the first time, which flooded her with the humanity, emotions, and careness to the point where she couldn't shoot the guard, and she wasn't even tell the dude the reason why she couldn't shoot it, because she started thinking about it. He had a family and the people that would miss him, and made her upset, and made her feel bad to try to kill him to get what they want. And you know, I think they even try to figure out how to get what he want and get what she want without killing somebody, which made her happy. But Supergirl and them eventually realized that that's what was going on, and that the only way to beat Nixley is to get Lena to do it a third time, but this time on a bigger note, to flood her so much that they would have to go until she come out of hiding and give up the totem. They would have to come and try to contain the chaos until she released the humanity's basically humanity and compassion and stuff back into them. This will lead into Kelly's side story again with the little girl. When the chaos started getting worse, the little girl, her mother and her new adopted mother was going home, but they would get attacked by this dude who could breathe fire, which when he does, the little girl accidentally breathes fire herself, and to block it, which scares and also excites the mother to basically force the little girl. And then later on, you see that she forced the little girl to stay on the porch to protect the house from people attacking it. And she's trying to bang on the door and tell her that she doesn't know how that she did it, and to let her in that she's scared. But the girl keeps, she was like forcing her out the door, pushing her, and then she closed the door on her and told her that she'll let her in once she successfully protested how to do what she had to do. and the little girl turns around, see like 4 people get ready to attack her. They laugh and get ready to attack her, and she basically goes like this, cringes up. I'm like, man, I could just go beat up that mother. Yeah, that was so awful to that little girl, and but Kara and they attempt to contain the chaos. Kara has seen it and sent both Alex and Guardian to defend the little girl, and they would they was pissed to see that happen. But yeah, this leads into into a debate whether Lena wanted to do it again, where should they cross this line to help, but then they realized that they have to. It was the only way to defeat. It was the only way to defeat her, so they end up doing it, and which floods her with so much humanity that it actually works, and to get her to releasing and get her into releasing it. All the while leading up to this, the William situation got resolved too. William finally standing up for himself and standing up to the Super Friends. He realized that the only way for their plan to work is they have to be transparent and allow him to write the story that he needs to write, which would mean everything that they didn't want on the everything about the situation they didn't want on the record, and exposing what decision they made, and if it was a right decision in the first place. And they realized he was right, because doing what they had to do. Because even at first Lena was against it, but then she realized it was the only way to do it. But she only agreed to do it if they was transparent about it and tell the people about what they did. Because she said Lena basically was thinking, if we tell the people what we're doing, this will make up for doing it, and to give them a choice to voice their frustration if they get frustrated about it. And once they all agreed, Lena was on board with doing it, and that's what leads to her using the powers for a third time and flooding Nixley with it so much that she had to get rid of it. Nixley ended up giving back everybody that humanity. Everybody goes back to normal, but she, in her coming back to normal, Nixley accidentally drops the totem. And when she come back to her senses, she was like, "You idiot! How could you let me drop the totem? That was a bad thing. Take me down to go grab it." And as you see it falling, you see Supergirl in the distance coming forward, because she realized where it was and grabs it, because she knows what where they once they came out of hiding. He was trying to warn her again that if they do this, they would be exposed, but she didn't care. And Supergirl basically grabs it out of midair, and then she's like, change the plans, get us out of here." And Supergirl now ends up getting into a totem. The little Kelly side story is resolved with Kelly and with Kelly and Alice going to visit the little girl, finding out that where Alice found out that the little girl, that the new adopted mother ended up giving the little girl back to the adoption agency, back to the adoption home, and which hurt Alex because she remember how happy the little girl was too. It also hurts Kelly because they both remember that this little girl was happy to be here, but they realized she wouldn't have been a good fit anyway after doing what she did. They was also disgusted. So they see the social worker coming up, and they realize they start giving each other these looks, because the little girl said it doesn't. She said, "Don't worry if the next family don't work out either," because she's kind of used to it. And then she sits there with this long and sad look that it basically like hurt them to that she came to realize that she probably gonna never get a home. And it's always gonna not work out. So they give each other this look. And what this look meant. It was about it was time. It was time for the payoff from a previous. I think the previous. Might have been the previous season or the season before that, where Alice talked about wanting to have a family and children. And this was this payoff to it, and it ended on a beautiful note. They end up everything ended up working out, but Nixie still got a plan to find the next totem, which I think she might go for the Hope Totem, but they also revealed that it's a Dream Totem, which might be the next thing in the episode, which is the Dream Totem. But all in all, this episode was good. I give this episode a 9 just for the beautiful little little side story with the little alien girl. The episode was good. It wasn't like a perfect 10, but there was nothing wrong with it. It's thoroughly enjoyable, and you will enjoy it. But if you enjoyed this review, hit this button right there in the upper right corner for all of my reviews. And if you enjoyed this review video so much that you want to support the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification button so you get notified when I drop videos. And as always, hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content, but don't go anywhere because I got Stargirl and What If coming your way. Peace.